everybody. I hope you're doing exceptionally well on this Wednesday, Wealth Wednesday. Anita here. We today are going to have an amazing conversation with Patricia Elizabeth. Patricia is a healing coach and a money coach, and we're going to talk about you getting empowered in the area of money, wealth, and abundance. If you've been a part of this group for a while, and I'll stop here and say welcome to all of our new members. I'm so honored that you are here. I believe you are here because you already recognize that being in your spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, feminine, divine power is what's going to help you transition into your next level of success in your personal life as well as in your business. And my job, our goal as a sisterhood, as a community, and all the different women who are part of this collective is here to help you make that happen. And we all know that when we come together in like-mindedness, spiritually, energetically, and all of those leads that exist, we tend to have a higher level of success. And so I am truly honored. I really have been enjoying introducing you to some of these amazing coaches that I know, people who are part of my personal life, who are part of my business, to really help you, particularly during these times of uncertainty and confusion and fear and anxiety and worry, as we're dealing with this pandemic episode, and it is a little episode here, we can move into our next level. And what I started to notice, I think most of you know by now, I have a background as a psychotherapist and an organizational psychologist, and did that for totally 27 years. And so from that, I am very observant, if you will, meaning I'm always paying attention to what's happening with people. And that's really what we as psychologists do. We study the individual and the group behaviors, thought processes, emotional dynamics of who they are, in order to help us find that pattern and also provide the solution. So with all that being said, over the past couple of weeks since we've entered into this whole pandemic experience, what really came forward in my heart was helping more women get back to their place of power in a sense of knowing what their purpose is, knowing what their power is, knowing what their position and their prosperity is. And then with all that, getting back to a place where you can really step into a higher level of attracting and attracting, receiving, and keeping and building money, wealth, and abundance in every area of your life and your business. Okay, so to get back on track, one of the things that, and I'm hoping you guys will allow me to do that in this group. I don't know if I would do that as a part of a masterclass training, but this group, we're as authentic and as vulnerable and as real as we are. And of course, we're all at home, so some of these things kind of happen. And my little puppy he's not a puppy, actually, he's a dog, it's a Cocker Spaniel, sometimes can be a child, and you need to stop them in the middle of whatever they're doing. So to get back on track, one of the things that has really come forward is, again, like I said just a few seconds ago, is really helping more women take their power back when it comes to money. So over the past couple of weeks, I've been introducing you to different individuals to support you in the practical side of money, because I think there's a lot of conversation from the spiritual, energetic, some people call it the woo-woo side of money, which is so essential to us moving forward, but I also wanted to make sure you had the practical side. So I started off with the practical side. So today we're going to actually have an opportunity to speak with Patricia Elizabeth and talk about the healing journey of money and wealth and abundance. All right. Hi, Patricia Elizabeth. Can you hear me? We can't hear you. You're muted.
No, I'm not muted, hopefully.
Not at all. So give me a quick second. I'm going to finish off. So I've already been in the group. I'm a little bit talking. And so I want to finish this because today, what's on my heart and what we're going to be doing moving forward throughout the Power Her Success group is to continue to bring you individuals to give you insight and give you information and even opportunities to help you take your brand, your message, and your business and your life, especially, to a whole other level. And so today we're going to talk a little bit more about the spiritual, soulish, emotional, energetic aspect of money with Patricia Elizabeth. And I want you to kind of look at your own self, take a few minutes to get grounded wherever you are, and to do your own introspection because this is how you become powerful. Your willingness to go within and say and take responsibility for the parts that have maybe been ignored, denied, abandoned, rejected, that could be interfering with your own money story. And so if you are in a place right now, and especially because of what we're dealing with this pandemic experience, you may not be attracting in the kind of wealth and abundance that you want, because in a lot of ways, a lot of us are in fear. Our whole entire planet is dealing with fear and anxiety and worry. And that lowers our ability to really be in our power position, be in alignment, increase our capacity to receive the very thing that we want. So I'm in this group, and the people that I'm bringing in this group is to kind of remind you and maybe awaken you and remind you of who you are. You are a spiritual being in a human body having a human experience. And in your spiritual beingness, that's where your power is. And when you tap back into that and own that as your absolute truth, then you can take the necessary steps, learn the necessary skills to move and transition into your next level. If you heard one of my trainings in this group before, I talked about the 4 dimensions of your next level, because people said, go into your next level, but they don't tell you what those levels are. So if you scroll in the video section, you'll find one. It was probably about 2 weeks ago. And I talked about your next level. And at each level, there is an existential crisis. I believe with everything in my heart that right now we're dealing with a divine existential crisis. And what that basically means is we're being given an opportunity to take a step back, take a deeper breath, and reset from this point forward. Reset from a place of empowerment, reset from a place of truth, reset from a place of confidence, reset from a place of love, reset from a place of our higher dreams and values and belief systems. And when we finally make that our absolute truth, and there's so much more I can say to this, and I think you already know that, you're powerful, highly spiritual, highly intelligent, highly visionary, highly impassioned, or ambitious women in this group. And if you can really make this your absolute decision. That word decision means to reach a definite conclusion. When you get to the point where you reach a conclusion that this is your truth, that's when everything's going to start to change from yourself. So today we're having a deeper conversation about you owning your power and money and moving to the next level. So with that being said, hi, Patricia Elizabeth. It's nice to see you.
Hey, Anita. How are you? Hey, ladies. Hopefully everybody's doing well.
Wonderful. So Patricia Elizabeth right now is all the way in
Tijuana, Mexico. I'm Canadian, but I'm in Mexico.
She's been traveling around the world for the past year. And just to, I'll let her introduce herself, but I wanted to tell you why I connected to Patricia. We've kind of been in each other's circle for a couple of years, and we were feeling each other, but we hadn't really connected yet. And then she had this free opportunity to witness one of her meditations. And I said, I've been following her for a while. Let me just participate in one and see what it's like. And I did, and I kept falling asleep. I kept having these really deep, she's knocking me out. Like, what's going on with this girl's voice? Not in a sense of boredom, but just I could feel the power of her voice, and the spirit that was coming out of her was causing me to relax. And I would have all these charges. Like, I actually felt like there was a physical, energetic charge going through my body. And I later now know that my own spirit was releasing and realigning. And it was doing it very quickly. I'm very, very empathic, very, very in tune. Patricia says I'm clairvoyant, and probably all the little voyants that are connected to it, because I'm like, I see and I feel and I hear things on a regular basis, just like she does. So I sent her a message through Facebook and said, I know we've never really talked yet, but I'd kind of like to talk to you about your program. And then we've been, sisters ever since, and we're collaborating on some projects. And I'm being certified in one of her programs just because this is something that I believe is so crucial for us as women to really understand how to clear at a visceral level. So when I say visceral, I'm talking about that gut DNA tissue level. The comment, you've got issues in your tissues. So if you're having problems with money, it's because you've got issues in your tissues. You've got some cellular issues. You've got some neurological pathway issues, and you've got some spiritual and soul and emotional. So all of you have some issues. That's not a negative thing. This is not we are not here to judge you or to condemn you or to punish you. We're here to say, hey, step back in your power and let's shift this thing. Let's shift it so that, as we said in January, the future is female. It's still true. So let's get back in alignment so we can make that statement for the rest of this year and the rest of the time that we're on this beautiful, gorgeous planet become our absolute truth. So with that being said, Patricia, introduce yourself, girl. Tell everybody about who you is.
How long do I have? Because as you know, I do a lot of things. So I'm actually rebranding. So I help you. Yeah. So I help you to reawaken your inner healer so you can make the impact that you're meant to do, because we're going through a very huge spiritual awakening, a massive reset right now. And we have everything within us. We all have our inner healer, but it's time for us to reawaken, because some people will say you have to wake it up. No, it's always been inside of you. You just need to reawaken it. So that's basically what I do in a nutshell. And I'm grateful Anita is going to become one of my amazing practitioners. I have several modalities, which I can talk about that another time because I don't want to make it all about that. So naturally, I help you to step fully into your power, to let go of your blocks. And we all have blocks. It doesn't matter. You could be a billionaire. They still have money blocks, believe it or not. It's just their money blocks are going to be much different than ours. So don't judge, because like I said, we all have them. It's just on different level. And the more you do this work, the more you're going to be able to up level as well.
Yes. Yes. So today, Patricia and I are just going to talk and you get to witness our conversation. and if you have some questions, I do have my phone here. If you have some specific questions, I'll definitely ask those of Patricia. I've got some questions myself, obviously. And then from there, if I can, lovingly smile at Patricia and say, would you guide us through a short little mini clearing session? So maybe we can do a little clearing, because like Patricia just said, there is, I think, a full moon's kicking in within the next couple of days.
Tomorrow. See,
told you. So if we can get ourselves a little bit cleared out for what's coming tomorrow, this would be fantastic for us to align. And I really, really want all of you to sit down and do some journaling to really be in the power masterful position that says, what am I going to manifest from a place of abundance and money and wealth and in my life over the next 30 days? And this particular meditation that we'll do towards the end. And Patricia, tell me, how much time do you need so I can make sure I'm paying attention to the time for that?
Probably a good 10 minutes, because my work now is getting much more powerful, so I can clear more in shorter periods of time. So.
Okay. So towards the end of our time together, I'm going to clock out about 10 minutes and say, okay, Patricia, here's our 10-minute mark. Guide us through a session, and all of you get to witness this. And it's going to be just as powerful being here live as well as being here and watching it in the replay. So please, please, please comment, because here's the other thing that I want you ladies to understand. When you respond to any video, because I know that a lot of you are watching, but something that you may not know from a spiritual, energetic, and psychological perspective, that every time you interact with someone who's doing a live on Facebook or on a summit, you are activating something in you, because that's a point of agreement. And the moment you agree, there's more power that connects, that allows you to manifest what you want. So when you come on here and you comment, or you say I'm watching replay and you're coming along the line, you are activating an agreement and a level of power and a level of spiritual universal laws that create the quantum physics for you to attract what you want. Because I know that you guys are, and I say that not only for myself, because I would love to know that what we're sharing with you is making an impact, but really this is not about me. This is not about Patricia either. This is about you. This is about you getting in alignment. So I know we're gonna have some powerful conversations. Okay, so Patricia, tell us about your journey, your money story, and the journey of healing.
Oh my gosh. So I'm going to start in about 2015, because up until then I was kind of a little numb, so I don't remember much. I've had roller coaster. Either a lot of money would come in and then, the money would go out or whatever. So in 2016, 2017, I was making multiple 5 figures a month in my previous manifesting business. And I think my highest income month was close to $60,000. The reason I'm sharing that is because in 2017, my business collapsed almost overnight. No, it wasn't overnight. I knew since 2015, the realm that I'm in now, that's where I was supposed to go. But I was resisting. I'm a little bit stubborn. And then I decided I'll just add it as a compliment to my business, because I also knew stepping fully into my spiritual power, I would get a lot of family members saying, no, like you can't do that. And I've had that happen, but I'll talk about that. So 2017, everything collapsed. I had nothing to show. I was making multiple six figures in a year. Highest income month was almost 60,000, nothing to show. And I have an investment background on top of it. So you would think I'd have something to show, but no, because the money would come in, it would go out, because my mother, and I associate this with my mother would hold on to money so tight. In a way, it was good because my dad took his medical retirement. He was middle 40s, but their house was paid off when they sold their house and bought the condo. So that was good in a way. But I was a little rebel. I didn't want to be like my mom. She's an amazing person, don't get me wrong, but I wanted to be the opposite as my mom. So money would come in, it would go out faster than it would come in. And it didn't matter if I made $1,000, $60,000. At the end of the month, I had the same amount left over.
Yes, I know that journey.
And it's not like I know where the money went, but it was just like whatever. So I remember one day looking at my guys like, okay, what's going on here? They were like, okay, well, you're not following where you're supposed to go. You've been resisting. We're getting your attention. Well, yeah, I'm on my hands and knees. I'm not going to repeat the conversation because I wasn't very ladylike. There was quite a bit of swearing coming out because I was really at that point. Like, okay, it's like, I'm not going back to corporate. I get you. I need to do this type of work, but there's a missing piece. Can you give it to me? So they gave it to me. And then I realized there's something with my money story, because obviously when most people in that case would have had something to show, I had nothing to show. So then I started healing my own money story. Like I said, I associated that with my mother. I also part of it was also struggle with my business. So my grandfather was very wealthy, started a business. My mother, all she remembers is the first 2 years, the struggle. Because when you start a business, normally there's more struggle, so I took that on from my mother, because that's also part of the reason why I couldn't hold on to my money, was because, well, I need to struggle in my business, or like the financial side. So I've done a lot of healing towards my money story, like I said. At one point, I remember thinking, how am I going to charge for healing? I had no problems getting paid. Clients were paying me up to $25,000 to work with me for manifesting coaching. I had no problems getting paid for that. But getting paid to do healing work, oh my God, no, I can't. So I had to go heal that as well.
Can I interject here for a minute? Because I think a lot of us have an understanding, but just to make sure this is a conversation that brings forth as much details as possible. And I'm a psychologist, so I like to go deep within stuff. So talk about the story. And what I mean, not your story specifically, because all of us have a money story. Where does that money story normally come from? How do we develop our money story?
It normally comes from childhood, because a lot of it comes from our parents. Either we heard them or we saw them, how they were with money. Or it could be like the family, because once again, if there's a lot of anger, there's a lot of fighting around money, or there's a lot of
shame or guilt,
secret, the emotions. Yeah. So a lot of our behavior will come from our parents, and some of us will do the reverse. Some will do the exact same thing, and some of us will be more balanced. But it really depends on our parents for a lot of it.
So I'm going to come along and take it even a little bit deeper, because a lot of people don't understand in vitro. So when something's happening to mom while you were in her belly, let's say, and there's an energetic experience that she may have had dealing with money. Let's say money wasn't there during the pregnancy, so she felt emotionally unsafe, unstable, insecure. So her basic needs weren't met. That energetic makeup in her is going to influence you, so that you end up developing the neurological pathways that causes you to always be in fight or flight or freeze. And that's your parasympathetic nerve is being activated. If people don't realize that there's biology and psychology and spirituality all mixed into how your story is created. And like Patricia Elizabeth just said, 9 times out of 10, it's coming from your childhood. So mom or dad, or not even just what they said, but what you witnessed. Because what you witnessed at a young age will make you think, oh, you can't do this. You're not allowed to do this. So for my story, not to go into it deeply, but was I witnessed that women in our family couldn't be successful because it threatened the men. And then if it threatened the men would leave you and then you'd be abandoned. So I developed the idea of becoming very wealthy causes you to be alone. And I didn't realize how deep that had been in my system for so long. So when I hit that high level, I imploded, I crashed, I sabotaged myself because somewhere in the back of my mind, there was this thought of, well, if you become too rich, you're going to be by yourself. And who wants to be by yourself? And I'm an extrovert. I'm like, oh, I'm actually an ambivert, but, I'm more extroverted than I am ambivert. So, Patricia Elizabeth and I are sharing this with you so that you can take responsibility to say, okay, what did I learn? And then what did I witness and what did I misinterpret that may be playing into my money story? So now that someone has an idea of what their money story is, what were the steps of beginning to acknowledge that you had a money story and to change it?
Well, first thing is, you got to acknowledge that you have the money story. So I do I have a 3-step process that I walk my private clients through. The first thing first, we start healing your money story. Some of it's even from past lives. So I go and clear like oaths and vows and limited beliefs and all of that stuff. Then once we start working on, we start clearing and healing some of the money stories. Obviously, I don't just focus on that because at some point you need to move on.
Yeah.
Then we start by creating, what do you want your money story to be? Because in all honesty, you are a powerful co-creator.
Yes.
And what you decide is your money story will work. Yes. So one of my money stories, the less I work, the more money I make.
Hey, girl, I'm with you on that
and
one.
And the last few weeks, I've been at nighttime watching Netflix and money's coming in without me really doing anything. So that's a belief I decided to choose. At one point, that wasn't my money story, but you can decide what is the money story that you want. How does it make you feel? I walk them through the whole emotions. Okay, but why do you want this? It's one thing saying, I want $1 million. Great. Why?
Yeah.
And then when they're like, well, for me, it's like, I want to have an 8-figure brand. That's because I want to be able to hire some of my practitioners and be able to write out six-figure checks to charities and, travel the world and so many things. So as you create your money story, the last part is on an energetic level. I help my clients to actually activate their money story because I'm finding
their new money story. Activate their new money story.
Yeah, their new money story, not the old one, unless they want to keep their old one. But normally,
the old one.
You can work with me for that. So we activate the new money story. I do that on an energetic level, and sometimes I'll go do some clearing because maybe there's past life vows that's preventing from you be able to create your money story. Your new money story, obviously. So I walk them through that 3-step process. And the amount of time it takes for each person will vary.
Yeah.
Because somebody like us who've been doing a lot of the deep money work, I've been doing this since 2017. Yeah. So it'll be, it's been 3 years now I've been doing this money work. So about 3 years ago, my whole life collapsed. So with me, somebody like me would come see me. I wouldn't focus so much on the healing part. It'd be more the create and the activate. If you're starting out, I focus more on the healing part. And I know some people will say, but you can do the create and the activate. But here's the thing. If you have so many limited beliefs holding you back and vows and contracts take on past life, it's going to be a struggle to be able to. So let's just go clear that. True. And then we can start to create, sometimes I'll work hand in hand with the first 2 parts, but I won't help you activate it until certain things are out of your energy field and all that. So basically it's a 3-step process, and I personalize it based on because if you're just starting out the work, there's going to be a lot more healing involved. If you're more advanced, it really depends. And it depends also what is it that you want. If you're here and you want here, well, first of all, I'll get you to chunk it down because if you've never made more than $50,000 in a year and you want to make $1 million, chances are you're not going to be able to make it, not because you're not powerful, but if you've never made more than $50,000, your ego is going to start kicking and be like, who do you think you are? Because you're going to make $1 million. You can't even make more than $50,000. So I will get them to chunk it down. Saying, okay, your end goal is here, but let's chunk it down. Because in my healing business, my goal was to make X amount. And I've made it in my manifesting coaching business on top of it, but because this was something different, I didn't believe it was possible. I would sabotage myself. And then when I start to chunk it down, I've been able to start to manage it. So let's say
and you have to, and I think, because there are a couple of things that I'd like to say, because I'm a firm believer. I've always been this way since, being a psychologist, is if we don't take care of the root, we can't produce the fruit.
Yep.
We don't take care of the root, we can't produce the fruit. Your root, the foundation that she's talking about, is you've got to do some of that inner healing work because it's there. And one of the ways that you can tell is there, look at your financial circumstances right now. If you're having a hard time with money coming in or doing what I was doing, is I could make money. That's easy for me to do. But I wasn't able to build money as well as I wanted to at the higher level. I would hit a certain point, crash, get that, and kept going in the same spot. Same spot of high level, crash, same spot of high level. And I finally, because I didn't grow up understanding about, energy and downloads and money. I came from a very strong Christian background. I'm very grateful for my background. I'm still connected to that. But now I'm opened up to, I understand very strong spiritual Christian backgrounds, and I understand universal laws and how they apply. And so the foundation of who I am has changed dramatically, and hopefully for all of you as well, so that you can move into that quote unquote next level. So, Patricia, one of the things that you said, I'm trying to remember exactly what you said that I thought was powerful. Oh, chunking it down. So I agree. I can't tell you how many people say, I want to create a 7-figure business. That's fantastic. So how are you going to do that? One, in order to create a sustainable, lucrative 6, 7, or 8-figure business, not only do you have to do the deep internal work within yourself, you've got to do the deep internal work in your business. And if you don't have a strategic plan on both sides, it's almost impossible for you to get there. I won't say you can't do it, you can, but you're probably going to have to work really hard. So one of the things I'm learning, and I would love to hear, this is off track, Patricia, because I would love to hear your thoughts on this. So the new revelation that I'm developing is understanding that money, we all know that money is energy, but money is also masculine. And what I have learned in my, healing journey is the more I'm in my masculine, the less money came into my life because I was working against the nature of who I was as a woman and fighting money for coming in. But the moment I start to shift over into my divine feminine and make that my priority, the masculine started to bring in more wealth and abundance. And it's been an interesting, because I like to test stuff. I'm like, okay, come back over here and let's just see. And boom, once again, I'm like, okay, come back over to the feminine. And boom, I'm like, okay, there's a balance between the two. So my question to you is can you explain the difference between understanding money from a masculine perspective and understanding money from a feminine perspective, if you think you can speak to that? Because I know that's kind of like off the cuff.
Well, first of all, if you look at men, a lot of them is like they hustle and they'll do whatever it takes to get the money. As women, we have a tendency, we're not as, some of us are, but it goes against our nature for a lot of us because we're more givers, we're more nurturers, we're more. So when you go against your nature, you're going to struggle a lot more, right? Because you're out of alignment.
Yes.
So when you're in alignment, so if you're more feminine, and you also want to have that balance, because in business, you do need to have some of the masculine, because that's taking the action and
the strategic planning and the forward.
But then you also want that feminine energy. So for me, is like the less I work, the more money I make, is I'm going more with the flow and like the whole thing. So you want to have that perfect balance for you, because what the perfect balance, Fanita, is going to be a little different than for me.
Except for the fact that I'm stealing this little statement. Hey, the less I work, the more money I make. I like that one. I'm using it.
And I've forgotten that, but because I'm in quarantine, I've been working a lot more because I have I got a lot of downloads and I'm trying to get everything done. And since last week, my body, like one night I slept 15 hours. That's not normal for me. And then since then,
there was something shifting last week though.
Yeah, there was a lot of portals. There was a lot of downloads coming in. There was a whole bunch of things on an energetic point of view. And because of that, I was more tired. And now at night, I watch Netflix. I work from here and here. I take breaks. I can't, in Mexico, we're in quarantine. We can't go for walks. can't go to the beach. I have a tourist visa, so I can't push my luck. If I was in Canada, I probably would a little bit. But in Canada, I could go for walks as long as the social distancing. Here we can't. They're very strict here because I'm in one of the places where we're hardest hit in Mexico, and we're behind Canada and the US, so they want to make sure. So when you're in the flow of what that looks like for you, it's going to be easier to call in the money. If you're going against your flow, it's going to be hard. It's going to be more of a struggle. You may hold on, get it, but then it's going to go back again because you're out of alignment. You're out of flow.
So I'm just going online real quickly to see if there are any questions here, because I want to make sure that if there are any questions or comments. So a lot of comments in here. Hi, Pamela, it's nice to see you, and those of you who are watching. Okay, so the other part that I think is really powerful here is, with everything that's going on with this pandemic, and our nation is struggling financially. People have lost their jobs. They're not getting the checks. They've probably applied for the different grants that are available. I hope that you guys have applied for them. I most definitely have. Those of you who have access to it, or you're at least figuring out other options to get funding, that can really impact how we allow ourselves to be in that flow you were just talking about. Because we start to worry, we start to panic. I know I even went through it because last year, most of my money came from me speaking at different speaking events, and then it dried up instantaneously. We actually had the whole month or the whole quarter of the new year, I had several speaking opportunities. Then all of a sudden, they were all gone. And I'm like, okay, I didn't prepare, not thinking that was going to be there. So of course, the moment you get into fear and anxiety and worry, we tighten up. We close up, we pull back. And then if we're seeing other people experience their own challenge, pain, dysfunction, it tightens us up even more. That being said, how do we get our power back right now as we're going through this experience so that we become more attractive to the flow of wealth and abundance coming in our life right now from your perspective?
Take my certification class. Sorry.
No plug there.
You walked into that one. I was just like, okay. And it's funny, in the past, I never would have said that. So when you're in business, you kind of have to plug yourself in. I think, first of all, is to make sure you're not taking on the collective stuff, because a lot of people right now are like, well, Patricia, you can't do a certification class. Here's the thing. Everybody who signed up so far have all paid in full. Yeah. So some people right now are realizing, I've had people receive like stimulus checks in the US or Canada. They actually took part of that to invest in themselves. I think a lot of it right now is to evaluate, look to see, okay, where are you? And this once again is a massive reset that's happening. You have an opportunity right now to look at what's going on. I know for some of you, looking at your finances is not going to be easy. Right. In 2017, I had to sit down and look at my finances because I'm more of an avoider, even though I have a background.
Aggressive nature.
And I remember I needed a drink. I had to do a few shots to look at my stuff, but it's the best thing I did because of that. When you look at your financial picture, you know where you're sitting. You can start making the changes necessarily. That could include doing a budget, knowing what's coming in, what's coming out. If you don't know what's coming in, you still want to know what are your basic expenses, because you need to know so you know how much money you need to come in. But it's also not going into the fear. So a lot of people are like watching the news all the time. Well, that's going to be fear-based. So I go get my news because I need to know, okay, what's going on a little bit here. I spend 5 minutes max looking at the Canadian news because I'm Canadian. I need to have an idea. And the Mexican, and as well a little bit in the US, because eventually I have to go back into the US.
Yes.
So I work carefully. And then start by consciously taking responsibility. That doesn't mean beat yourself up. We all make mistakes. Look and see, okay, forgive yourself for all the mistakes you've done.
That's it.
And then start making a plan to be able to move forward. So it could be starting to add income streams. For some of you, it could mean finally starting your business, because you've been saying for the last 5 years, right. I'm going to start my business. And I have a few friends now. They're like, I should have started my business. Well, duh, I've been telling you that for the last few years. Like now it's do or never. So it's time to start taking responsibility And that doesn't mean beat yourself up. We all make mistakes. Acknowledge it, let it go, start moving forward. What is it that you want? So if you want to start a business, this is a perfect timing to actually start a business.
So I have to come in here and kind of add to what Patricia Elizabeth is saying in regards to the emotional feelings of guilt or shame or judgment. Specifically, I'm going to lean on the area of guilt and shame. So most of you, I hear women say this all the time, and I really have to admit, since I've been a psychotherapist for 27 years, this is probably one things I do not experience. I never have, and I don't think I ever will, and that is dealing with guilt. And the reason why I don't use the word guilt is because most people don't have the right understanding of what guilt is. So guilt is a feeling from committing a moral wrong. Guilt is a feeling from committing a moral wrong. So when someone says, I feel guilty for ... whatever that may be, 9 times out of 10 I said, that's not what you're feeling. Guilt is the wrong emotion. What you're feeling is shame. There's a level of shame on the inside that says, I feel ashamed that I'm paying attention to me instead of doing what everyone else has convinced me to do and taking care of everyone else, especially for women. So the moment you can release that shame, because shame underneath it is I'm not enough. And that's probably what's driving everything. I didn't make enough money. I'm not enough as an employer. I'm not or an employee. I'm not enough in my business. I'm not enough on whatever the statements may be. And I want you to know that that is a lie. It is an absolute, energetic, lower level lie. And it's a lie because if you are a spiritual being with all the answers that you need, being whole and complete, nothing missing, nothing broken, you always have been and you always will be, we've got to get back to that nature. This is what Elizabeth and I are talking about. Patricia and I are talking about, is that I'm trying to call you by your name with Patricia Elizabeth, and I've been calling her Patricia for so long. So Patricia Elizabeth, in awakening your higher self, your higher God self, the part of who you were made in the image of God, who has the answers for you to right now. The reset is to take us back to the divine, waking us up, heal, and come from a place of empowerment and saying, wait a minute, hold up, pump the brakes. I am ... I am divine. I am whole. I am complete. I am powerful. I can co-create with God in the universe. I can. Now let me go learn what I need to learn, or hire who I need to hire, or come in alignment with someone to help me get to the next level. That's why we're bringing all these people to you. That's why I'm bringing all these people to you in this group and a part of the different master classes, so that you can find either myself or someone else to come alongside you and say, if there is ever a time for you to step into your power, if there's ever a time for you to become your highest divine self and be the woman you were called to be, so that you can not only live your highest and best life, but you can change your family, the community, and the world, so that the future truly is female, now's the time to do it. There's no more excuses. You have no excuses now. You really don't, because you can learn anything. You can get the information from anywhere. Is it challenging? Is it hard? Because I'm sure, Patricia Elizabeth, you can agree with me. Dealing with your money story and building a business 5, 6, 7, 8. It's hard work. It takes time.
It takes a lot of times, because you have to get out of your comfort zone. It's probably the best thing I've done. But I just wanted to add what you were saying. We're all abundant beings. We were never meant to struggle.
That's right.
Or to suffer.
That's right.
At our core, we're all abundant.
Absolutely right.
But a lot of us, because of what we grew up with, or what we took on, or what we're seeing out there, because of our limited beliefs and past stuff, we stop believing that we're abundant. There's enough abundance for everybody. And it's not because if I have a 6-figure, I'm stealing from Anita. No, Anita, there's more than enough for all of us to be billionaires. So we're truly abundant, and stepping fully into your abundant self will help you to get to where you were, because then you're connected. You're back in alignment. You're connected to your higher self, to God, universe, whoever you want to connect yourself to.
And we have to, you've seen this, and this is how I can prove to you that this world is abundant. Have any of you ever witnessed those forest fires? those forest fires that we've had out here in California, it was actually in Orange County, close to where I lived. Many of those fires were close to where I lived, or at least one of the processes ones at that time. I remember when we had the fire and it destroyed this whole entire beautiful grassy area off of the 57 freeway out here in Orange County, California. And I remember seeing the whole mountains was black. It had been completely engulfed with fire and completely destroyed. And then I wasn't out in Orange County for probably about 2 or 3 months. Went back because I had to do something out in Orange County. And it was like the mountain had never been touched because it reproduced itself. Sometimes the burning has to burn away what needs to be removed in order to allow something to be rebirthed to its next highest level. It was gorgeous. What we are dealing with is kind of the clearing of the dross right now. It's the fire that's purifying and surging out all the impurities of what we've been dealing with in our own personal life and as a collective. Which means on the opposite side of this, if we stay true to faith and believing in God and believing in source of spirit or whatever word works for you, for me, believing in God, believing in ourselves, believing in each other, what's going to come out on the other side is life and life abundantly. And so this is our opportunity to make the decision, reach a definite conclusion to get ourselves in alignment. So Patricia, talk about money alignment.
Well, first thing first is you need to believe that it's possible for you, because if you don't believe it's possible, doesn't matter what you do.
Good point.
It's not going to work.
Yeah. Yeah.
For me, when I get money alignment is taking the time to go within and why do I want the money? Because if you just want the money to have the money because it's a superficial thing, oh my God, if I have the money, I have the prestigious and I have this, you're out of alignment automatically.
So true.
For me, making a lot of money is it means I've served and helped a lot of people. So it's not about me.
That's right.
And 2, not only have I helped a lot of people, but now I'm able to help even more people because I can write checks. So it's really going down with it. Why do you want the money? Why is it? Because a lot of times it could be freedom, but what does that look like for you? Because a lot of people, I want freedom. Well, your definition of freedom and God's creator, universe, divine source definition of freedom can be totally different. So you want to be very clear what that's going to look like for you. Once you're very clear, then it's easier to get in alignment because you're focusing on the why, not on the money.
Or on the how of the money. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I made a lot of money when I was just focusing on the money. And let me tell you, going back, I would have done things differently. I mean, I had to do too, because that was part of my journey. It brought me to where I am. But you don't want to just focus on the money. And you want to have a balanced life. You want to be healthy and having loving relationships and feeling good. So to me, it's about being balanced and knowing your why. Why is it that you want that money? If it's just because you want money, you may get it, but you're definitely not going to be happy. You're not going to feel contentment. You're not going to, some of you may be.
You may not keep it for a long length of time either.
Because I can make money fast. But my problem was holding on to my money.
Yes.
Now I'm able to hold on to my money. I actually have reserves. I had a client who couldn't make her payment this month. I'm like, it's okay. We can because I had reserves. So, but I've done the work as well. So it's really just, why is it that you want the money that you want? And if you just say freedom, what does freedom represent for you?
And the reason why I love this so much is because one of the things that I think we keep forgetting is true is that this planet and the universe operates in decency and in order. There's an order, there's a rhythm to everything. And if you think about it, this planet and the universe is very detailed, very specific about everything. Specific when the sun rises, specific when the sun sets, specific when there's different seasons in the world, how a person is born from childhood to adulthood to dying. There is a process to everything. And until you figure out that step-by-step process, or at least become as detailed as you possibly can, and then you hire someone else to help you put it in some sort of a process, we're going to be spinning our wheels. And like you, Patricia, or Elizabeth, or Patricia, good grief, girl. Patricia. I'm like, I can't do it. I'm just gonna call you Patricia. I had to, so I had a very successful job. I had my own private practice. I was teaching at the university level. I was making my mid-high six figures. I had my own house. I had my own car. I had my private practice. I had a flow of clients coming in. And yet with all that success, because I am very highly spiritual, highly visionary, highly ambitious and driven, I still felt like something's missing, something's missing. And at that time, I really didn't understand the law of attraction. I didn't understand universal laws. I did, but I didn't have those terminologies with it. And I didn't understand it at the depth that I do now. And what happened was in 2011, just like you, I lost everything. I mean, when I say everything, I mean down to the point of homelessness. So people go, you were? And like, yeah, most people are shocked. One day I'm going to tell my whole story, and most people are probably going to have their faces on the floor like, I had no clue that you went through all that. Yes, but I always had a vision. Even in the most darkest time of my life, God kept, for some reason, kept that vision in my head. And I would, have my drama moment, because I'm a drama queen sometimes, and then, fluff it off and then get back up and sit down. And that's when I started to realize, gosh, I have to put things in order, and I've got to create a plan, and I've got to be specific, and I've got to be intentional. And as I started to understand universal laws and universal spiritual principles, things started to make sense. And I was understanding all of them except for money. I was like you, Patricia, kind of having my own avoidance with it. So the more, it's like a child with mothers. Have you ever been to the store and mom has her kid and the kid's going, mommy, 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 mommy. And the more mom ignores the child, what happens to the child?
Mommy, mommy, mommy. They act more
louder. And the moment you pay attention to it, it calms down. So money is the same way. If you ignore it, if you deny it, if you abandon it, if you reject it consciously or unconsciously, it's going to act out. And so when I finally had to take the step back and do my own inner healing and started to have a different type of relationship, because I was coming at money from a masculine place. So money was like, well, I'll fight you too. So when I finally learned how to calm down, it just started to beautifully it's beginning to flow in. And particularly as I'm restructuring things and the people I'm connecting to going, oh my gosh, I'm finally getting it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So we're right at that level where I think it'd be perfect for us at one. Is there anything else you want to share before we get into the meditation time?
I think if there's one thing you can take from today, is it's important to go back to your source, because this is a massive reset.
Beautiful.
You have a new opportunity to reawaken, take your power back. Stop giving your power to everybody else. Take your power back. Yeah. And you can decide what you want. There's no better time to do it than now. So just take your power back and create what it is that you want. Take responsibility, heal it, move on, and start creating your new money story and get back in alignment, get back to source, get back to who you really were meant. You weren't meant to struggle. You're an abundant being. It's just sadly for most of us, that's what we were taught. So we took that on as our belief in our programming.
So it doesn't she sound exactly like me? I'm saying the exact same thing. We're trying to, and the reason why we're saying this over and over again, because we know you have to hear it a couple of times before it clicks. It's almost like you can hear something that you've heard over and over again, and one day it just has a new meaning. And this is why I'm going to keep coming in here and talking about this over and over again until all of you 200 women who are in this group become high-level, successful, lucrative, highly spiritual, highly visionary, highly ambitious, according to your definition, successful women, that you're making an impact in your own life, in your family, in your community, and the world. It's just a done deal. That's what I pray for you guys more than you guys know. I think about you. I watch you. This is why I'm trying to get all of you to engage, because I know, you know this too, that when we as women come together and we're really supporting each other's success, we go to a whole nother level very, very quickly. So with that being said, Patricia, you said you were going to take us through a clearing session to help us align for the new moon that's coming tomorrow. Would you be able to do that with us now?
Yep. Let me just burn a little bit of my sage so we can do a bit of cleansing. So if you're seeing smoke, it's just sage. I'm not smoking. I don't smoke. I haven't smoked in years.
Ooh, I should have thought to do that so we could do it together, but I forgot. So I love all you people who are commenting. Awesome. We'll come back and respond to you soon. Hopefully more. We have a lot of people watching us right now.
Yay.
Okay,
I'll,
ladies.
yeah, I'll go comment after. So first thing first, for the meditation part, make sure that you are in a safe place. You're not walking, you're not driving, you're not operating any type of machinery. Just give yourself the gift for the next 10 minutes to receive these powerful money clearing. And I'm going to be going to do some clearing around shame and guilt and the anger, because that's a lot of us, when we're holding on to that, it makes it harder to create more money or to hold on to the money. So I'm going to go do
Patricia,
some of the Lord stuff.
before you start, because I'm going to tap in, because what I'm also feeling is the anxiety is coming from fear. So we can break out the fear, because some of you may not want to admit it because you're strong and you have to be strong for your family right now, but there still is fear there, because fear is bringing the uncertainty, and we need to break that out. I'm feeling this so strongly inside me. So I'm going to be behind the scenes with Patricia, helping shift this energetically for all of you just as well.
Yeah, so like I said, it depends when I'm guided. It depends what my guides tell me to do, but I'm going to do more of the emotion stuff, because that's holding a lot of you ladies back.
Yeah, we can feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
All right,
like
go
I
ahead,
said,
girl.
make sure you're in a safe place and give yourself the gift of the next 10 minutes to be able to just, this is all about you, letting go all of, and we're going to do some collective stuff and then some physical body as well. So just going to ground myself before I start. So start by finding a comfortable place to sit or lie down. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath and center yourself in your heart. Call back all parts and pieces of you, anywhere you or your attention is off to, back into your heart space so that all of you can receive these magical energies. Now I want you to see, feel, or imagine a beautiful pink light coming up from the bottom of your spine, and it's going straight to the heart chakra of Mother Earth. And this beautiful pink light is a beautiful grounding cord. And just feel yourself connecting to the powerful yet grounding energies of Mother Earth. So now you're fully connected to the grounding energies of Mother Earth, so you're safe into your body. Now I want you to see, feel, or imagine a beautiful golden light that is coming out from your crown chakra, and that's on top of your head, and it's going up, 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 connecting you to your soul star chakra, and it's going up, 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 connecting you to your divine source. So now you're fully connected to your soul star chakra and divine source, and you're fully protected. So now when you continue taking nice deep breaths and just feel your energy expanding out and expanding out and expanding out until you reach your 5D energy field. And just continue taking nice deep breaths as you open yourself up to receiving these powerful clearing energies to come in for your wishes for your highest good and healing now. Divine Source, please delete, clear, and dissolve any lower energies taking on from the collective, such as anxiety, fear, stress, overwhelm. Let's clear this on all timelines, dimensions, realities now. And just feel yourself becoming lighter and lighter as you let go of all this collective stuff. And there's no reason for you to hold on to this. It's not even your own. And you're not responsible for anybody else's emotions. So just let it go and feel it being released, release, release. It's being deleted, 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 clear, clear, clear. Divine Source, please delete, clear, and dissolve any anxiety around money that you've picked up on either from the collective, as well as being stored in your physical body, chakra, cellular memory, DNA, etheric body, and anywhere else in your energetic body now. Thank you. Just feel yourself becoming lighter and lighter as you're letting go of all of this. And just know it's safe for you to let go of this. And you deserve to let go of this. Divine Source, please delete, clear, and dissolve any stress around money, taking on from the collective, as well as being stored in your physical body, chakra, cellular memory, DNA, etheric body, and anywhere else in your energetic body now. Thank you. Just continue taking nice deep breaths and feel yourself becoming lighter and lighter as you're letting go of all of this that's no longer serving you. And Divine Source, please delete, clear, and dissolve any guilt or shame around money. So anytime where you feel guilty or shame because you either made a wrong money decision or maybe you picked it up from your parents, let's clear all of this 80 type it was taken on from the collective, as well as where it's stored in your physical body, chakras, nervous systems, cellular memory, DNA, etheric body, and anywhere else in your energetic body now. Thank you. And just feel yourself becoming lighter and lighter. And the more you let go, the more space you make to call in more magic, more money, more wealth, more health, more love, more abundance, more of anything that your heart and soul truly desires. Divine Source, please start to run my ISA light code receiving money now. Thank you. And just feel yourself opening up to receiving a whole bunch of money. And for some of you, maybe you feel that your arms are open wide, wide, wide as you open up to receiving all the money that you truly desire. It's just not as safe for you to receive this money. And you so deserve to receive this money. There's so much good you can do with it. And you are an abundant being. So it's time to claim this as your new reality. So now you're going to see a beautiful sparkling green light. It's going to keep coming down and coming down and coming down. And this beautiful green sparkling light is just going to go and fill any holes or gaps that was created from today's releasing. As well as going to help to raise your money energetic ceiling. Once again, just feel yourself opening up to receiving all of this money that wants to come in for you. You need to be open to receiving it. So So divine source, please align and fully integrate all of these magical shifts and changes into everybody's physical reality now. Thank you. Now I want you to start by taking a deep breath in and feel yourself coming back into your body. Now I want you to go ahead and repeat after me 3 times. I am back into my body and fully connected and grounded to Mother Earth. I am back into my body and fully connected and grounded to Mother Earth. I am fully in my body and fully connected and grounded to Mother Earth. Take another deep breath in and feel yourself being back fully in your body. You're fully in the room that you are in. Take another deep breath in and wiggle your hands and your feet and your body a little bit just to make sure that you're back. And when you're ready, take another deep breath in and open your eyes. So let me know how that feels. And if you still feel that you're kind of spacey, continue taking nice deep breaths from your stomach, and as well as just visualize that you're connecting to the grounding energies of Mother Earth, because that's going to help you to get back into your body. As well as a few things just I want to share to help you to fully process these powerful energies. Make sure you're well hydrated. If you drink a lot of water, drink more water. If you don't like water like me, I infuse it. You can put like lemons, limes, melons, cucumbers, whatever. Drink non-caffeinated herbal tea. You may also, if weather permitted, and if you can, go spend time in Mother Nature. Go hug a tree. That will ground you. So if you can't, like me, you're in quarantine. Mind you, I don't have a tree in my yard because it's met. Go ground yourself. You may also want to take a salt bath. Now for that, do not stay more than 20 minutes, because if you're in that salt bath for more than 20 minutes, the toxins that have been released will come back in, and it's going to make it even worse. So do not stay more than 20 minutes. And listen to your body. Some of you may feel more tired than usual, plus we have a full moon, which probably doesn't help. Listen to your body. If your body's telling you to rest, rest. Because once again, your body's going to tell you what you need. And when you resist, it's going to make you. Like me last week, I slept 15 hours one night because I wasn't listening. So they'll make you listen. So, and really sit down and process and start keep track of all the abundance around you. Because a lot of us, we focus on the lack. Focus on the abundance that you have. If somebody gives you a discount, somebody gives you a free session, like right now, this is abundance for you because you got this for free. If you get a discount, if somebody smiles you, somebody gives you a compliment, if you receive whatever, those are all abundance. When you focus on the abundance in your life, you're going to attract more abundance. And for a lot of people, it's not going to be monetary per se to start. At first. But if you're not grateful for everything, regardless if it's a free, like it could be a hug, a free coffee, a free whatever, you're going to block money from coming in, because you're also saying, I don't appreciate you. I don't value me. I don't value whoever. And that's going to block it from coming. So focus on the abundance and really start watching the magic start to happen in your life.
Yeah. And those of you who were connected to my page, you probably saw yesterday, and maybe I posted in this group as well, that what you bless in others become a blessing to you. And so with that being said, we really want to say thank you, Patricia, for taking time. That was a beautiful meditation. I felt it. I did feel a shift in our group specifically. So hopefully those of you who were here felt it. Those of you who watched the replay, please comment below. Patricia's going to be coming in and doing some of these sessions a little bit more regularly to really support us every single new moon and a full moon, or whichever moon is the best moon to do that kind of releasing if you choose to align in that way. I do encourage you to do some grounding. I'm going to be doing probably some more training in here myself to really help you. I mean, we're doing a lot of interviews, but I am doing some of these masterclass trainings that you have to register for, but those are very specific because I want to help you get your business in alignment, whether you are service-based or product-based, so that you can move into the next level. But I also want to help you get back into your power. I mean, that's the ultimate thing right now, is to help you connect to your power in such a way that you can shift your life without it having to be hard and without having to push so much. I am the mistress of pushing. And I did that for years. And I had to lose everything to understand that you can only do it for a certain period of time. God loved me so much that he and she, God is both male and female, imploded my life, tore it apart to crack open and bring forth the full magnitude of Anita. And I am so grateful. I mean, if I keep talking, I'm gonna start crying because I'm like, I see it now. I didn't see it during the time, because during the time it was difficult and overwhelming and scary. And like, how could my whole life fall apart? I had this goal, I had this vision, and now it's gone. And now I get to create something much bigger, much grander, much more in alignment with my higher being. And you ladies have the same opportunity. Patricia and I are no different than you. We're just a little bit more focused, maybe, a little bit more strategic, maybe. And we're here to help you get that way as well. So Patricia, I love you. You know that queen, you know that girl. I'm so grateful for our sisterhood. Thank you for being here with me today. I know these ladies were deeply, deeply touched by your presence and your teaching.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Like Anita was saying, probably next week, I'm going to be starting to come in probably once a week to start doing clearings, because once you start clearing, it becomes so much easier. Plus, I love doing this type of work.
Yeah, so and you're good at it.
And well, because I've also invested a lot of time and money, energy to get to where I am, and I've actually started to open up. So, so thank you. You know, I love you too. I mean, I can't wait to come back to LA to give you a big, big hug in person.
I know.
But on my way back to Canada, I'll be stopping to LA, so we'll definitely see each other in person back again there. Yay!
Love it. So, ladies, we believe in you so much. Please hear that from me, from Patricia, from all the other leaders in this group. We are not here to waste your time. We're here to come alongside you and to whisper in your ear, you got this, girl. And you know that little image where you see one woman standing by herself and she pulls another woman up, and then she pulls another woman up and she pulls another woman up? That's what we're going to do right here in this group. You know, I have a vision. I have a clear vision of seeing this group engaging and active and creating sisterhoods and networking, and each of your businesses thriving and moving from phase 1 to phase 5. And then we're going out to a world and speaking on stages and participating in each other's books and being on podcasts and just sharing our message that changes our family. And then all of a sudden we create this feminine tipping point that puts us back in balance and alignment with how God, Source, and Spirit created us to all be. With so much love in you, Patricia, and so much love with all of you ladies here. Thank you. Comment below. Let us know what you think about this particular session. Feel free to share it. This group is open right now until we decide to make it closed, but right now it's open. Invite as many women into the group as possible. Let us create a powerful sisterhood where we are powerfully in alignment, knowing that we're enough, knowing that we are unlimited, and unlimited success to you. God bless everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.